Hello and welcome to BioRules video lessons. Today we are going to be talking about some definitions that are going to be very important when we talk about ecology. So, what do we study in ecology? You saw in previous class that ecology comes from oikos, house, logi, knowledge or study. So the knowledge of the house, the study of the house, so where the organisms live, how they interact and all that stuff. But in ecology, we are going to have different levels of organization. So the first one is the organism, okay? It's the individual. It's the one individual. No, that one is a level of organization. Ecology involves studying organisms and beyond. So if you're talking about interaction of living beings, so we're going to be talking about interaction of organisms or in other levels of organization. One individual makes one organism, but when we put together many organisms, we are going to be making a population. So, population, group of organisms of the same species. Okay? Some people may call a group of people like the students in our school to be the community in our school, but actually no, that's the population of human beings in our school. Population is a group of organisms of the same species living together or interacting, doing what they are supposed to be doing. But, so what are communities then? A community is a group of populations. So usually group of populations of different species. So in this case you have grass, you have the deer, you have the plants. So many species together living, interacting, that will be the community. So we don't call the community of students in our school. We have the population of students or human beings in our school. If you talk about the community, then you have to include the students, their dogs, their cats, the plants around us, and everything that's alive surrounding us. So those three levels of organization, they are going to be making what we call a biotic part of ecology. Bio, alive, so biotic, the living things, and have these three levels of organization. Organism, one individual, population, bunch of individuals of the same species, and a community, a bunch of populations. Basically, we're talking about different species living together. Okay? So, biotic, alive, and organic. Very good. So here you have an image that puts this idea together. Here we have an organism, one individual, a bunch of them living together. This gnus here, they're going to be making a population. And here we have not only the gnus, but you have giraffes and gazelles and antelopes and rhinos. So we have a community, many species of making many populations of different species living together. This is the community. The question then comes to this. Oh, look what we have here. Oh, apparently we have a community. We have elephant, giraffe, gazelles, but we also have water. Water is not organic, water is not alive. We also have there rocks, making a mountain, rocks. It's not organic, it's not alive. We also have here sand. That's not organic, it's not alive. So what is this going to be called? So this part that's not alive is going to be called abiotic. A from not, biotic, alive. So non-living part of the things that are there in the environment. So abiotic, the non-living things. That may include the rocks, rivers, lakes, winds, rain, water, the temperature, the soil, you name it. If it's not alive and it's important for the living of organisms, that's going to be the abiotic factors. And this brings us to another definition that's going to be important for our class, for our understanding of ecology. It's the ecosystem. What's an ecosystem? You probably heard this word before. You have the ecosystem of here in the Atlantic rainforest. So what is an ecosystem? Eco, house, system. So it's quite intuitive, but let's put that into words. Ecosystem is when you have a community or sometimes communities and the abiotic factors together. So ultimately, an ecosystem is the living and non-living things of an environment. So we have an ecosystem here just beside our school. We have a little forest with soil and wind and the sun and temperature and a community of living organisms of different species that makes an ecosystem. So in that image that we had before, we have there the ecosystem, the organism making a population of the same of the same species, making a community, many species together, living in an environment that makes the ecosystem. Okay, so here we have another ecosystem. We have the kangaroo over there and insects. We have the algae, protozoans, bacteria, plankton, fungi, a rotting log, a termite mound, but we also have water, we have the sunlight and the heat, we have the air, we have probably rain. So that's going to be then an image of an ecosystem. Okay? Okay, then we have another concept called biome. Biome, we have a class just for that. Next one is going to be about biome. But just to give you an idea, a biome is a global scale ecosystem. It's an ecosystem that we look to the entire planet. So we have some biomes here that are quite famous. For example, here we have the Amazon tropical rainforest. That's a biome. Over here we have the Pantanal. It's a swamp, the biggest swamp in the planet. So that's a biome. We have here the Atlantic rainforest, a biome. Here we have the Cerrado, which is a savanna biome. Caatinga, which is a semi-arid area. It's more or less like Caatinga is quite tricky. Okay, so we have deserts over here. There's a desert, another desert over there, another desert over there, Namibia desert. We have here we have the pine trees making the taiga, which is coniferophytes. It's a biome as well. We have here temperate forest. It's another biome. So we have many biomes over here. And what's the biome? A global scale ecosystem, an ecosystem in a very, very, very big scale. Okay? So, one more thing, biosphere, that's quite obvious, is the entire group of living things on Earth. So everything that's alive in our planet, that's going to be making the biosphere. It's a very, very narrow layer in our planet, but very important. Our planet has 21% oxygen, for example, nowadays, because of living things, because of the biosphere, because there are living organisms that are changing the gases composition, and now we have 21% oxygen. Plants have made that. So biosphere, all the living things on Earth. That's it. Now we have a little quiz here. I hope you have fun, and I'll see you in the next class.